I'm going to show you how to create your own AI chatbot, just like the one you see on TrendWriter. So just to give this a quick whirl here, this is an AI chatbot that as you log into TrendWriter, you're able to use it to ask about the product, to ask about policies, to ask about, hey, if I had a problem, how do I fix it? How do I give you product feedback, log a bug? But for example, I can ask it, how much will it cost me to create a video? Which is something obviously nothing on the internet would know except our own custom chatbot. So as you can see here, it's responded back with a very detailed answer. Now again, this is different than chatbots that you see online with OpenAI and other platforms. They're great, there's nothing wrong with those, but they don't have those specific domain knowledge that this particular bot will have. And your bot will have its own knowledge. So let me show you how this is set up and how you could actually install it on your own website or even your web-friendly mobile app. So first things first, when you land into your control panel here, into your dashboard, you can click on New Project. Make sure you select Chatbot. Once you do so, it's going to ask you a little bit about your company. This is just to get your company name. What is it that you do? Do you sell product, services, whatever it may be? I'm going to say, I'm just going to use a sample one here, say I am Nike. Okay, now it's going to use some templates to better instruct your AI chatbot. So I'm going to use customer service here for now. And it's loaded up our avatar pic here, our profile picture that shows up right here. So whatever picture you want here, whatever name, whatever title you want, you can go ahead and configure that any which way you want. So this is the default one. In the header, I want to call this chat window. And so that will be what shows up over here. The bot display name is, in this case, Izzy. We will change this to Jeff. The welcome message is when you first start, hello there, Daniel Hindi, that's me. How can I help you? So here it says, hello there, how can I help you? But we can add that little wavy hand, the emoji. We can also add in, hello there, display name, no space in between within those square brackets, and it'll inject the current logged in username. Now, if this is on your public website, there is no current logged in user, so you probably don't want to do that. But we move down and now we get into the most important part, the instructions of your AI chatbot. So here, this template has loaded some information about, give it a name. What is its position so it knows what is my function in the company? What is the name of my company? Initially when we said Nike, it says Nike here. And it fills out all this information, and there's some parts that you need to go in and add a little bit more detail to it. Now what I recommend is go create your own guideline of how you want any customer service rep to act, and you can add that into a particular document. This is the actual TrendWriter document. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and as you can see here from the outline, it's pretty extensive. The more information you give it, the better. It could be a paragraph if you'd like, that's fine. But over time, you want it to handle more and more things. You want to give it a personality. That's why I like having it in a document. You definitely don't need to start with all of this, but the more information you give it, the better equipped it is. So I'm going to go ahead here and just paste it. Now, I haven't given it any information about my product itself. I haven't given it any policy information here. This is just how should it behave? How should it act? This is the instructions on its behavior and things that it should do and things it should not do. So there are specific things. For example, I always recommend tell it to stay on the product's knowledge base. Do not veer away and start answering questions about world history. Because what ends up happening is that people will use your chatbot for, ChatGPT and just use it as their own personal ChatGPT. So what you want to do is just narrow down what you allow it to talk about. The approved domains here, so if you have yourwebsite.com, then you would just put in yourwebsite.com here to make sure that the AI bot doesn't work in any other domains. But for now, we can just keep it empty. Moving on to the next step, this is now the additional functionality that your AI bot can actually produce. So since it's a customer service representative, I want it to be able to email the company, and then I'm going to go ahead and provide an email address, customer support address as well. I can add in feedback for the product manager. I can add in if it's a lead sales manager. Now, all of these emails, the AI bot will send that email to you internally. It will not send an email to the customer. So it's going to gather information from the customer and from the user and send it to you. In case of a bug, it's going to send it to customer support. Now, in your case, you may want to gather, let's say you are a website and they're logging in a bug for your website. You want to instruct in the previous step that when you're logging a bug, make sure you get the browser, what login address, email that they used, and any additional information that is specific to your product to best log that bug so we can get it fixed for the customer. You could say, rate my customer interaction as well. You also give it instructions to say at the end of every conversation, ask the customer to rate their interaction with the chatbot, and you can have that feedback. Now, for the advanced customers, you can go ahead and add in a new API call for your backend. So let's say you wanted it to be able to reset a password. So you could set up your API here and give it your API key, and the chatbot from server to server will call your server and says, customer X has asked to reset their password. Go ahead and reset their password. Or customer X is asking for a product price. Can you please give me that product price? You can make it do really anything that you want. So these are more for the advanced users who want to pull or post information from an API. But for now, we're going to keep that empty. Go ahead and hit next. And this is basically the API key and the snippet that you need to put on your website. It just brings in the TrendRider bot JavaScript, and it tells you if you have a logged in user, give it a user ID, a display name, and a profile pic, and any other information you want to give it. Now, you'll probably give this to your developer to do, and you can give it information like account ID, you can give it their account balance. None of this information is used or stored on the TrendRider site. It's just given to the AI bot for context to be able to communicate with the customer freely and maybe not prompt the customer for all their information if you're able to preload it in. Now, once it's there, you have a little fab button that shows up on your website. You can turn off the fab button, you can style it with CSS and make some changes, but for the simplest form, this is what you get. Now, in the meanwhile, we're going to go back to our knowledge files, and I'm going to upload some of this is, for example, our help documentation. So I'm going to go ahead and download that into PDF. Again, I like to put this in a Word document or a Google Doc. This is our refund policy as well. So if I come back here and I say upload, and I've already downloaded them, I'm going to just go ahead and upload them. As you can see now, both files are uploaded. Now, the difference between the instructions and the knowledge bot, the knowledge documents, is that the knowledge documents could be pretty vast. You saw the instructions there. It was pretty hefty to begin with. But I have the refund policy, I have a compliance policy, I have a privacy policy, I have the terms of use, I have help documentation. There's no need to flood the memory of your AI bot with all that information. If you attach the files and name them properly, the AI bot will know when it needs to open up that file to retrieve that information. So you can upload as many documents as you like to give it domain knowledge and say, hey, this is about the product. If they have a product question, here we go, use this document. If we're looking for policies, if it's a refund policy, use document A. If it's a terms of use, use document B, and so on. So instructions is more about behavior and how to act and where to find information. And the knowledge is their go-to documentation for the official policies and documentation for your product. Now, once we're done there, we're going to go back to testing the bot. So we're going to go ahead and give it a test and click here on Test AI Bot. Now you can see the name now is Jeff. It's using the same avatar as Izzy, but we can change that to anything else. And it says, hello there, Daniel Hindi. How can I help you? So I can say something like, I'm an investor and I'd like to buy your company. Can you send an email to your boss? As you could see here, I got an escalation report, and you could see here the name, the email. Dear manager, I'm writing to inform you that an investor, Daniel Hindi, has expressed a keen interest in purchasing your company, and so on. So it gave me an executive summary, and it'll give you the last 20 messages that went back and forth between the AI bot and the customer. So it gives you a little context of what's going on. So you could see it emailed me, it escalated out an email to the appropriate parties so that we can respond back to this person. So as you can see, it's more than just an AI bot. It actually does functions. It can email, it can gather information, it can be given information, it can call an API. So it's really as strong as you make it. Now I suggest that you start off simple and then make your AI bot better and better and better. Give it finer tuned instructions as well as its knowledge base. And every time you make an update to the knowledge base or its instructions, it'll be updated on the fly. No additional deployments, or you don't need to call a developer for any of that. You just make an update and immediately your chatbot is updated. I hope that helps. Enjoy botting.